Hey everybody, it's Melissa, and I am coming to you today to hopefully start a new little series that you can follow along with if you want to. I'm going to be talking, of course, about Scout Cellar Wines. So if you are tired of hearing me talk about that or tired of seeing my posts, you are welcome to scroll along and maybe come back sometime when you want some more information. So I'm doing this because I figured this would be a great way for me to really touch base with some of you who have had some questions, who have been curious about this company, who have been curious about our wines, and so that's why I'm here today. So first of all, if you don't know me, my name is Melissa, and I am a teacher by trade. I grew up in Michigan and went to Western Michigan University, where I got a teaching degree in elementary education. I taught kindergarten and first grade for 10 years in Michigan. Then we moved. When we moved to Ohio, and I decided to take a little bit of time off to get acquainted and get settled with my family. And in the meantime, of course, I was a stay-at-home mom. My kids were really little at the time, and I was just itching to get back out there. Teaching is my passion. I can't imagine my life without it. I can't imagine life without the little hugs that I get from the little ones near daily. And so I started subbing and looking for a full-time job. That didn't happen for me. Unfortunately, it was at the bottom of the market. Things weren't looking that great for hiring, and so I started subbing and I started teaching preschool, and I found that preschool, it was something that I absolutely loved. So since then we have lived in Georgia, where I taught preschool, and now we're in North Carolina, where I teach preschool again. And so it really fills that piece of me that is my calling. So what does that have to do with why I'm talking to you today? Well, here's why. Because all along the way, I had lots of mom friends who were in the business of selling something from their home. They would go out at night, whether it was Pampered Chef or 31 or jewelry, whatever it was, clothing. And I would get invited to these home parties and always buy something and be happy that I was supporting a friend or a friend of a friend in their business. Now, full disclosure, I was approached a few times asking if I would like to join their team, and I gave it a New York second to think about it and said, no way, that is not for me. I am not a sales girl. I do not do sales. That makes me really uncomfortable. I prefer to spend my time with small children and not adults for the most part. I don't like speaking in front of groups of adults, and so I always said no. Also, there was nothing I was ever really passionate about. There were some brands that I loved. I love Pampered Chef. I love 31, but I just couldn't see myself doing that as a part-time job. So I always said no. So here we are. We're in North Carolina. A friend of mine posted something on Facebook back in June of 2018. And she said, hey everyone, I just wanted you to know that I am a new consultant for a clean-crafted wine company called Scout Cellar. And so that's all I knew. So I called her right away and I was like, hey, you need to tell me more about this. You're working for a wine company? I love wine. How do I get that job? And of course, at the time when I'm asking her these questions, I didn't know it was a multi-level marketing company. I had no idea. And so I started asking her questions about it, and she was telling me what she knew. Of course, she was only 2 weeks into the company, so we were kind of learning together. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, why don't you come do a tasting at my house, and we'll see how it goes. And I had Tony come, my husband, and after she left, I was like, yeah, I think I could do that. I love wine. I love the idea behind the company. Our mission statement is that we're on a journey to discover the unknown good and share it along the way. At that time, I wish somebody could have said to me what my unknown good was, because I didn't know. I just wanted to sell wine. And on top of that, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to be a friends and family consultant. And so I'm going to sell wine to my friends, to my family, and hopefully that will help me cover the cost of the wine that my family consumes, that my husband and I consume. And that really was my goal. That was it. I wasn't looking to have a part-time job. I wasn't really looking for extra income for our household. That was my one and only goal. I thought, well, that's fun. I mean, that's a fun way to hang out with friends. I don't really have to do a bunch of sales because it's wine, so it kind of sells itself. Along the way, I learned more and more about Scout Cellar. And I learned about what our true objective was with this company. And it is the fact that we don't know what we're putting into our bodies most of the time. Whether that's with beauty products or cleaning products or the food that we eat or the drinks that we have. I know so many people who really have adopted a clean, whole lifestyle. And when I introduce them to Scout Cellar and tell them about the things that Scout Cellar truly believes in, their jaws drop. They're like, what? I didn't know that. I didn't know that mass-produced wines can have up to 250 FDA-approved chemicals and additives to it. No one ever told me that. Well, no, they didn't, because they don't have to tell you. Nobody has to tell you that. So I started learning that Scout Cellar wines are procured from all over the world. We don't own the wineries. Scout Cellar doesn't own the wineries. We find the wineries and we bring the wine to Scout Cellar customers. We've got wines from France, from Spain, from Chile, of course from California and Oregon. They're from all over, and they are delicious. Just today I was talking to someone who said, I have not found another wine that tastes as clean and as pure as the wines that I've gotten from Scout Cellar. And for her lifestyle, it fits. It fits with her. So today I just wanted to talk to you about kind of where I came from and where I'm going with this company. Like I said, an MLM company was not something that I ever saw to be part of in my future. I sort of rolled my eyes at people who wanted me to join their team and sort of snickered a little bit here and there. And I just have to say that this company really does the right thing. They're really looking to change the wine industry and the practices of how to make real wine. So that is my first video. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Like I said, I'm going to try to see if I can figure out how to put this on YouTube and maybe make my own YouTube page. Trying some new stuff today. So if you have any advice for me, that would be great. Other than that, I will see you later, and I'll be back. All right, bye everyone.